Hello and welcome to Dr. Nishant's diary. I found out 2 days ago that one of my favorite teachers, who was the head of the Department of Forensics in Manipal University when I was doing MBBS there, died of lung cancer, and he will be sorely missed. His name is Dr. Yoga Narasimha. We used to call him Dr. Yoga, and he taught forensics with such a passion that you could have wanted to take the subject because of the way he taught it. And he taught me medical ethics, and if you like TV series like CSI Miami or Dexter, you would have loved his lectures. One of my favorite stories has to do with him, and it has to do with the viva I had with him during my last forensics examination. 1.5 years of the second year of MBBS is the most boring part of MBBS according to me. And at the end of those 1.5 years, there is a university examination. At the end of the university examination, there are vivas in various subjects. And the last viva was forensics. And the last table of that last viva had to be with Dr. Yoga Narasimha and an external examiner. So I go to Dr. Yoga Narasimha for my last viva, the last 5 minutes of this 1.5 years. And the external is sitting like this, just chilled out, looking at me. And Dr. Yoga Narasimha was given 2 topics to ask me questions on. The first was medical ethics, and the second was toxicology, which is the study of drugs and poisons. I was very good at medical ethics, and I was horrible at toxicology. So the medical ethics part of my viva went really well. He was so impressed, he congratulated me. I was expecting the toxicology part, but instead he just asked me, "Where are you from?" So I'm half Gujarati, I'm half Punjabi. I've been brought up in Andhra Pradesh all my life. I was born in Guwahati, and because of my 5 years in Karnataka, I know more Kannada than I know Telugu, so I was really confused. All I told him was, to make things simple, "Sir, I'm Punjabi." So he smiles at me and he says, "So what habits has a Punjabi boy like you picked up in a place like Manipal?" So I knew what he was getting at. If I told him I hadn't picked up any habits, he would have asked me some really difficult questions from some really rare drugs. If I told him I'd had a bit of alcohol, he would have asked me questions on alcohol, which I did not know answers to because alcohol is a huge topic. I told you I was bad at toxicology. So although I don't smoke, I told him, "Sir, I've smoked." And he said, "What have you smoked?" And I said, "Sir, I've smoked nicotine cigarettes." Suddenly he gets really angry and he says, do you want me to believe that a Punjabi boy like you has come to a place like Manipal and only smoked cigarettes?" So I got really scared and I said, "Sir, I smoked ganja once by mistake." So Dr. Yoga Narasimha bursts out into laughter, and I was really nervous. You see, the forensics department of Manipal had been given the responsibility for drug control in Manipal, to control all the drugs that go through Manipal, which is quite a lot actually. So here I am thinking that he's going to rusticate me, he's going to make me repeat those cruel 1.5 years, he's going to tell my parents who had come to town to surprise me and pick me up on my last day, and instead he just says, "So what is the source? Not the source of where you got your ganja from, but what is the source of ganja in general?" So I told him, "Sir, cannabis sativa, cannabis indica." Then he asked me questions about ganja and hash, and what the difference is, and about hash brownies, and about submarines, and about bongs, and this was really cool. And then he laughs his head off and he says, "You've done really well on your viva," and gives me full marks. So yeah, that's one of the scariest and most interesting things that's ever happened to me. Thank you for that, sir, and rest in peace.